The same data that professionals use to calculate the strength of vacation rental markets is at your fingertips. Today, I will show you how to calculate the occupancy rate so that you have an accurate tool for making vacation rental pricing decisions. I'm Berryman, and this is the Vacation Home Pro, where we share tips, strategy, and information for vacation homeowners. I've got over 17 years of full-time experience here on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and these concepts are critical for vacation homeowners everywhere. The occupancy rate tells us how strong the rental market is for a particular time frame and for a particular data set of homes. In its simplest form, occupancy rate is the number of homes rented over the number of homes that are available for rent. It's important to establish the data set. Are you talking about homes in a particular town, in a particular market as a whole, with a particular management company, or on a particular platform? It's also important to define the time frame. Is it a particular day or week? And the occupancy rates throughout the season obviously are going to vary. The occupancy rate for any individual time is generally going to increase as we get closer to that time. So if we're talking about the July 4th week, in January, maybe 50% of the properties are booked. As we go through the spring season, 70% may be booked by June. And when the July 4th week actually approaches, maybe 95% of the properties are booked in a summer market. Let's jump right in and see three different examples of how to find information so that we can calculate the occupancy rate. We're starting with Carolina Designs Realty, a property management firm on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Going to their search screen, we see that there are 361 results when there's not a date or any other criteria entered. So that's useful information, and next we are going to go to a specific day, and we'll start with August 7th, and it shows that there are 135 properties available. So with the total number of the properties in the data set, 135 are available. That will tell us the number that are rented, and then we can calculate the occupancy rate. So, and then we would do that week by week. So we go to the 8/14 date, and there are 100 available. So 261 are rented, and that gives us a different occupancy rate. So let's look at how we can do this on VRBO's platform. I've typed in Duck, North Carolina, and it says that over 300 plus properties are available in Duck with no check-in information. I really want to get to a number that is specific, not 300 plus. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and the map is defining the inventory that's listed on VRBO, and this gives me a number of 236. So if I'm doing this week after week or month after month, I want to get this same search and the same data set up. And then we're going to put in the check-in date and see how many properties are available. So we go to August 7th, staying for a week. Most of these properties in this market are weekly check-ins. Now it lists only 33 available. That seems to me that's a very few number available. So I'm going to go back and play around, and we're going to go and check the Saturday check-ins. And 72 are available on Saturday. So between Friday and Saturday, we've got a total of 105 that are available. And let's also check the Sunday and see which properties are available on the Sunday turnover. This says another 53, so that takes us to 158 properties available out of the 236 in the data set. That lines up a little bit more with what we saw with the property management company. So one other thing I want to check, well, let's say can we rent from Monday to Thursday? How many properties are available then? Now it's saying only 12 are available. So if you actually go and look at these properties, many are cross-posted from traditional property management companies. So the key thing here is to really understand your data set and understand why the numbers come up based on the market, based on the platform, based on cross-posting, based on minimum rental stays. So now let's take a look at a third platform, Airbnb. And I've got this set in the same town, Duck, North Carolina, and it shows with no dates available that 100 different places are in their inventory and are theoretically available to stay. Once we add some dates, that number obviously is going to decrease. So let's go to that same time frame, August 7th. We'll go Friday, 7 days to the August 14th. And this shows us that 24 places are available. We can infer that 76 are rented at some point during that time. And note here, Aquaterra is showing up as one of the available places to stay. Let's go to check Saturday, August 8th to the 15th, and we'll pull the data again. 33 places are available. And again, Aquaterra is showing up in this search. So they are not as strict on the check-in date. And that's Airbnb typically has a more flexible check-in where they're in this market, they are not, the owners are not as likely to say it must be Saturday to Saturday or must be Sunday to Sunday. So that would make sense. So if I was checking the occupancy for this week, I don't know that I would necessarily add up the Friday, the Saturday, and the Sunday because there will be some duplicates in there. The key thing here is to understand the platform and your market and the common practices, then set up a plan to gather the data so that you have occupancy data that is going to make sense, and then be very consistent in your collection methods. So this data is not going to be perfect. Sometimes people will take the place off the market and use it for their own use. But there is a lot of useful information here, and the more you understand the nuances of the platform and your market, the more useful this information is going to be. If you find numbers that are unreasonable or seem extraordinarily high or low, it pays to investigate why and research and look into the data and the listings to try to get an understanding for why. That is time very well spent in helping you to become much better at understanding the market and ultimately making better pricing decisions. Thank you for tuning in today. If you haven't already checked out the first video in this series, it talks about the impact that understanding pricing can have on you as an owner. Please do that. Also, we've got a great video about choosing comparable properties. Coming up next in the series, we will go over how to organize this information in a spreadsheet, and then we'll get into real-life strategies that will help you use this information to win. I'm Berryman. This is the Vacation Home Pro. We share tips, strategy, and inspiration for vacation homeowners so that they can do their best in any market with their vacation home. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll check you on the next one.